Good afternoon. It's Regine. It is Thursday, and I'm back from Costa Rica. It was an absolute amazing, wonderful, spiritual, transformational journey for me and for the other women who came with me. I mean, we had a marvelous time. Oh my gosh, we really nourished our bodies, our minds, and our souls. We ate healthy, green, cleansing, fresh, organic, fresh fruits and vegetables. Some of us straight out of a tree. I mean, just energizing, right? We felt so alive, so healthy, so proud of ourselves for taking the time and for making the commitment to eat healthy for 4 days and to stay away from artificial sugars and salts and fats and monoglucosamines and all that crap that we're eating on a regular basis in the American diet. We drank lots of water. We drank herbal teas, no coffee, no caffeine. It was all about eating foods that our body our bodies were just so excited about that, right? And we moved our bodies. We stayed in this beautiful, magnificent 20-acre estate. We were able to thankfully buy out the entire estate, and everyone had little houses, some of us further away than others. So they had to trek up to the clubhouse every day. But it was great because we got exercise and we were able to walk in the woods and enjoy the monkeys howling in the trees and all the creatures all over the place. And thankfully nobody was attacked. No, it was all good. It was really, really just a wonderful, healthy experience for our bodies, right? And then we also nourished our minds and we talked about who we are, what we wanted, what our desires were for, not just for 2019, but just for life in general, right? For 2019 and beyond. And we looked at what are the obstacles that are getting in our way, because if we're not manifesting, and we are manifestors, we are co-creators, right? We are made in the image and likeness of the ultimate creator. We have the ability to create. If we're not doing that, then there are some blocks usually that are getting in the way. And so we examined that, and we did some cleansing ceremonies and exercises and released some stuff. There was some stuff that we needed to release, and it was just amazing. And we connected with our souls through meditation, through yoga, which means union. We led yoga classes every day. We also did yoga nidra in the evening, and that is a yoga exercise yoga practice whereby you relax all of your entire body section at a time so that you can really become still and connect with your heart. And so we did that, and we reflected, and we prayed, and we cried, and we laughed, and the sisterhood. I mean, over a short weekend, these women bonded and supported each other and loved each other in ways that I was surprised. I'm like, I know I knew what my vision was. I know what I wanted. I know what I set out to create, and I guess in part created, right? Because I was part of the whole creation process, for sure. But after a while, you just got to let it go and you see what happens. And I was in awe. I was in awe by how they showed up for each other and loved each other and supported each other. And there was no judgment, right? Absolutely no judgment. It was all acceptance, all love. It was just beautiful. It was beautiful. I tell you, these retreats are getting better and better and better and better. I'm getting better and better and better. And I'm able to provide for the women, I think, more and more what they need. And it was just an amazing experience. Hi, Ray. I'll see you soon. And so after the retreat, I had worked a lot. And so I wanted to relax, and I wanted to actually explore a side of the country that I had never explored before, and that was the Caribbean side, the black side. You know, I'm a blackist, right? I love all things black, and so I went to the Caribbean side, Puerto Vieira, and spent a week there with my honey, and it was really beautiful, and the people are laid back. It's just this beautiful beach town and right on the ocean, and we ate amazing food and had delicious chocolate and saw some and relaxed and got sparred up, and it was just great. And so I want to have a retreat in Puerto Viejo in 2020, the fall of 2020, which apparently is the best time to visit that side of the country. So put that on your calendar. Sometime September, October 2020, we'll be going back to Costa Rica, but this time to the Caribbean side, and we're going to be also, in addition to doing all of the things that we do on retreat, but we're going to be exploring this interesting mix of African culture and Jamaican culture and indigenous cultures. Many of the people there, the black people there, actually speak with a Jamaican accent, although they've never been to Jamaica, but their grandparents were from Jamaica, who came to Costa Rica to work, and they settled and intermarried and so on and so forth. And so it's kind of like this reggae Costa Rican vibe. It's really, really fascinating. So I want you to join me in 2020 in the fall. So make sure that you put that on your calendar. All right. And I am really committed, particularly after this retreat. I'm so recommitted. I'm always committed about retreats, but I'm just on fire at the possibility, particularly for a weekend retreat, for what is possible when I hold this container, when I'm holding the space for love and for nurturing and for healing and growth to happen. I just know, I've seen it time and time again. I have seen it time and time again, the possibility of transformation. And what I'm looking to do for these next retreats and thereafter is not only have the transformation at the retreat, but also continue the growth process through my coaching and through other retreats, so that we can continue growing, because there's always more. There's always more. We can always up level. There's always more joy, always more love, always more harmony, always more peace, always more abundance, always more prosperity. There's always more. And we need to help support each other in that. And I'm committed to doing that for you. And so this year, as you know, I've been talking a little bit about the retreats and the opportunities that you have to come join me. April, the Haiti retreat, that's sold out. And so that's a wrap. Our June retreat, we are going to the Gullah area and study some Black history and some Gullah history in Savannah, Georgia. That's about half sold out. And so you definitely want to get on that if you're interested in exploring the historical and cultural and spiritual relevance of what it means to be Black and do it from the perspective of the Gullah and the African American history from the South. And so that's really exciting, that I can't wait for. And then, of course, there is It's Time to Shine in Cartagena, Colombia. I'm really, really, really excited about that particular retreat. I love all of my retreats, but I'm really excited about the It's Time to Shine retreat for a couple of reasons. Number one, because I've been working on this retreat for 2 years. I wanted it to be just perfect. And number two, it's really going to be for the woman who kind of knows that there's more, that she has more to do, to give, to experience, to be, but there's just something that's been holding her back from doing that. That she's been maybe in the background, in the shadows, because of family, because of her own insecurities, but for whatever the reason is, she knows that it's time for her to come forward, for her to come to be bolder. And so this retreat is about getting that out, and it's about shining. It's about really shining your light, shining your inner light, being all the woman that you know inside you can be, but for whatever reason, there have been blocks. It could be internal blocks. It could be external blocks. But during that week, we're gonna dismantle those blocks. We're gonna figure out what the heck is holding you back from being all that you can be. Hi, Tasha. And that's gonna be in Cartagena. It's a place that is right on the ocean. We're gonna be right on the ocean. You're gonna be in Lux. We have a gorgeous hotel where we're staying in. We're gonna do some fun things. We're gonna go on a boating excursion. We're going to go visit this interesting village, a Palenque village of African descendants who, really interesting story. They were marooned there and stayed there and fought to be independent, and they were able to do so, and their descendants still are in that area. And so we're going to go visit the Palenque village and understand who these people are. They speak their own language. It's really fascinating. So I love kind of stuff like that, and I love bringing unique, off the beaten path experiences to you. You know, you can't go on Expedia and do this, right? This is once in a lifetime kind of thing. And so that's going to be the It's Time to Shine retreat in Cartagena in October. I can't wait. That's going to be a week long. You're going to go in. We are going in, and you're going to come out a new person. For sure. For sure. I've seen it happen. I know it can happen, and I know that I'm going to give you everything I have to make sure that it happens for you. And then in December 1st through the 7th, I'm really excited. We are going to Bali, to the sacred place of Bali, the praying, one of the most prayerful, healing, in tune places on the planet, and we are going to awaken our divine feminine. It's going to be about the Black goddess in Bali. Hi, Merle. That's what that retreat is going to be about. It's going to be about awakening the divine feminine within you and using that as a power source, because we are leaving resources on the table, y'all. We have so much. We're so rich in resource, but we're not tapping into it enough. And being a woman is more than just about having breasts and a vagina and a butt and all those, and hair and whatever. It's about tapping into this divine feminine energy that is within you and really using it to empower yourself. And so we're going to talk a lot about what it means to be feminine, what it means to tap into that, what it means to heal some of the areas where we've been wounded, in our yonis and in our childhood and all this stuff. And so that's what Ray says she wants to go to that one too. I know it's going to be really nice. It's going to be really nice. So I'm excited. And listen, if you have any questions, anybody, about any of the retreats, all of the retreats, if you want to come to all of them, if you want to come to one of them, inbox me, let me know. Let's talk about how we can get you there, how we can make this happen, because these experiences there's nothing like this. There is nothing. And I'm a retreat junkie. I go to retreats a lot. Merle was saying that, she goes to retreats, and this is the best one yet. On my retreats, there's nothing like it for Black women. I mean, there's stuff for other folks, but for us, you're not going to find any retreat like what I do, because I put everything I have. I work at giving you everything I have and make it the best experience for you, and that's something that you will never forget. Meryl says yes. Okay, so that's it for the retreat talk. I really want you to join me. Inbox me if you have any questions. But today and for the next few weeks, I want to talk about passion and purpose. I want to talk about passion and I want to talk about purpose, because I think that when I talk to my clients, and I'm working with my clients and talk to the women on the retreat, we are disconnected, so many of us, right, from our passions and our purposes. And what that looks like is we feel not as energized as we can feel. We are not as happy and excited about life as we can be. We're sometimes confused. We're sometimes unfulfilled. We're sometimes sitting for 8, 10-hour, 12-hour days at a job that we're miserable at, wondering what time do I get off work? When is the weekend coming? And when is my next vacation? That's how so many of us live our lives. I have lived my life like that, so I understand very well looking at the clock, waiting for 5 o'clock, and looking at my calendar, waiting for Friday, and looking at when my next holiday is going to come. I've spent a lot of years doing that, and I know a lot of us spend a lot of years doing that, right? And so, you know, we put up with work as if it's something that we have to put up with, not something that inspires us and enlivens us and makes us excited. Like, right? When was the last time? Maybe you went to a ball game or you watch sports. I'm not a sports person, but I've gone to sports games and ball games, and you know, your team is winning, right? And they're have the ball and they're about to make a touchdown, or they're about to make a basket, or they're about to make a goal, or whatever it is, and you're like, yes, go, 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 and everybody's high-fiving and the energy's exciting, and it's just like, oh my God, this is amazing, right? How about you get that way for your own life? How about you are as excited about yourself and your work and your career and your purpose as you are watching a football game or basketball game? So many of us are more excited about what we watch on television than we are about our own lives. And that's no bueno. It's no bueno. We have to be so much more excited, right? About our lives and about our work and about our passions than watching other folks fulfill their dreams, because that's what they're doing, right? They are fulfilling their dreams. When you watch the Olympics and these people are like, you can hear the stories and they're just like, oh my God, they're beautiful stories, and you just fall in love, right, with the story. But this is their dream, and you have your own dream. And so over the next few weeks, I want to talk about how can we get more in line, because the dream that you have for yourself that is waiting for you is already fulfilled. It's already laid out. What we need to do is to get in alignment with it, right? We need to go and be in sync with it so that we're experiencing all of the benefits of having that dream, having that purpose be alive in us, in our lives, for us, working for us. It's going to energize you. It's going to push you. It's going to excite you, and it's going to be attractive. People are going to be attracted to what you have to offer because you're attractive, right? Because you are so excited about what you're doing, and it's possible. So one of the first things that we have to start to dismantle is this idea that that's not possible. Like it's something that's for television actors or for athletes or for some very special, unique people, but it's not possible for me. And I'm here to tell you, I am here to bear witness to my own personal journey, that I was that chick who was all about looking externally good, making good money, being a lawyer and whatever that meant, but internally I wasn't in sync, in alignment with my own joy and passion. And as a result, I wasn't fulfilled. And I had no idea. At the time when this was happening a few years ago, I had no idea what I wanted to do. No idea, clueless that somehow life would unfold and allow me to do what I'm doing now, which is, if I began to express to you how happy this makes me, I would just start bawling and crying, and I don't want to be looking all crazy. But literally, there are times when I'm sitting in my morning prayer and I'm thinking about what my life is now, and I just start to cry because I'm so thankful that I have an opportunity to do what I love, and that's talk to you face to face on retreat, and then talk with you over the phone when I'm coaching, and connect with you, and provide a space of healing and love and growth and support in a beautiful country, in a beautiful environment, so you can feel really that you can just know how loved you are. That is my purpose, for you to know how special and how loved you are. That's what I want. That's what I want to create when I create my retreats, that you can just feel just for a moment like, wow, God must love me so much. God must appreciate me so much. And once you start to realize how worthy you are of that, things will start to open up for you. And that's my hope, that's my vision, that's my purpose. And when I tell you that it wasn't always that, I need you to believe that. And when I tell you that there is a path to waking up and looking forward to your day, even though I got crap going on that I don't want to deal with sometimes within my business and within my work, but generally speaking, I wake up every day excited about what I get to do. That's what I want for you. And so I want us to kind of unpack that, break it down. How can I create a career, love, a vocation that I'm really excited about? And it could be, guys, it could be that you are in that vocation now. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that you're going to do that is different than what you're doing now. Hi, Darketta. It could be that you are in this wherever you need to be right now. It's just that we need to change some perspective. And we're going to talk about what it takes to change perspective so that I can experience everything that I desire, because really everything I desire is already here. That which you are seeking is actually seeking you, okay? And so we're going to unpack that. We're going to talk about trust, and how can I trust myself? Because part of what happens to us is that we have an idea, we have an inclination, we have an inspiration, we have maybe just a thought, and we don't trust it. We don't trust it. We don't trust ourselves that we have the capacity to follow through. We don't trust that this thing could be actually something, and then we dismiss it, right? And so every time you dismiss your own ideas, your own thoughts, your own inspirations, what you're saying to yourself is, I don't trust you. That's the message. I don't trust you. And when you say to yourself enough, I don't trust you, I don't trust you, I don't trust you, yourself is not going to show up, right? Because think about it. What would you do if you have a friend that continues to tell you that they don't trust you? Like, all right, then peace out. I'll see you later. Clearly, you're no friend of mine. And so we got to start to trust ourselves. We need to learn, how do I trust myself, right? And there's a process by which we can trust ourselves, so that when we start getting inspirations that are truly our inspirations, not the stuff that people may have said, because then it gets confusing to us, because people may say something, and it could be good advice, but it's maybe different than what I think. So do I go with their advice? Do I follow my own advice? I'm not really sure which is better. They seem to know what they're talking about. They have more experience than me, so maybe I should trust them, but it doesn't really feel right, so I don't know. I don't really trust me. I get all confused. I've spent all of this energy and time knotting up in this decision, and my time and my attention and my focus is not where it needs to be. following my own inspiration. So we're going to talk about how I do that. How do I distinguish between what somebody's telling me and what I'm telling me? And which voice do I believe? Because you got a lot of voices in your head. We're all halfway schizophrenic, right? We got a lot of voices in our heads. And we're not even sure sometimes which voice is the authentic, true, real voice. Which voice should I listen to? So we need to figure that out, right? And then we got to find out, well, is this attainable for me? It may be attainable for people on TV, but is it attainable for me? Is this really possible for me? I don't know, because I may not have anybody in my personal circle that has created a life that I'm admiring, right? And so how do you start to believe that it's attainable for you? Because it shall be done to you according to what? Your belief. So if you do not believe that it is attainable for you, it will not be attainable for you. How do I now get myself to believe this thing that has never happened to me or anybody I know personally? How am I going to get myself to start believing that? It's a process. We got to figure out, we got to break it down. We have to unpack it and figure out how do I do that, right? And then we have to ask ourselves, all right, what are the obstacles? What are the blocks? What has been getting in my way? What's the resistance? What has gone on that has prevented me from going to where I want to go? Sometimes we don't even know what stops us. Sometimes we are clueless as to why we're doing what we're doing, why we're not doing what we want to do. We are clueless. We have no idea if you ask somebody, well, why aren't you doing that? They may say, I don't know. You can ask yourself right now, why aren't I living the life of purpose and passion that I desire to live? Because I don't know. I'm not really sure. Right? And so, hi Sandra. And so we have to figure out what are these little blocks? What am I holding on to? What are some beliefs that I have in my head that are in opposite, because we may believe one thing and then desire something else, and these things are in opposite of each other. And so when I have a belief that this dream or goal I desire is very difficult, okay, or very expensive or something, yes, but I have this desire that I want to have it, those things are canceling each other out. So they're like at war. So that's where your energy and your time is going, fighting with this old belief that contradicts what you desire. So we got to figure out what is it that you believe. And we did this great exercise on the retreat about what you're thinking about. What's going on in your head? You got to know what's going on in your head, because what's going on in your head is playing out in your life. And if you are not aware of what's going on in your head that's playing out in your life, how are you going to change it? How are you going to start something new? How are you going to figure out what you need to do differently? And so we're going to figure that out together. We are going to figure this stuff out together, because I really, truly believe that if it's possible for one person, I'm going to break this down for y'all, right? If something is possible for one person, then, and I'm not talking about the possibility of somebody achieving a particular goal. For example, I'm not talking about someone winning the 400 dash Olympic race, right? That's not possible for everybody, because not everybody has the physical aptitude to do that. But that's not, how can I say this? That's not really what you desire. You don't desire to win a particular race. You don't desire to achieve a very specific thing. What you desire is what it represents for you. Okay, so follow me here. What you really want is the feeling of winning. Yes, that's really what you want. Or if you're an athlete, for example, if you're a performer, what you really want is the feeling that you get. You ever hear performers describe how performing makes them feel? It could be on a stage with 5 people. It could be a stadium with hundreds of thousands of people. But somebody who's really connected. I'm not talking about somebody who was like an egomaniac. I'm not talking about that, because that's not what we're after. But somebody who's really connected to their dreams and their desires and their passions and their purpose. There is a feeling that person's going to describe to you. Ask an artist. Ask them. There's a feeling that they describe to you when they're performing. It doesn't matter who they're performing in front of. That's what you want. It's the feeling that I feel alive. I feel like creative. I feel amazing. I feel so great. Okay, so that is accessible to every single body. There's not a person on this planet, unless you have some severe, and I'm not joking, unless you have some severe physiological, chemical imbalance, psychological stuff going on, that your brain just doesn't work that way. I'm not talking to you. You're not watching me anyway, that person. But most people on this planet have the ability to feel alive and on fire and excited and on purpose about something, right? Your job is to figure out what that something is. That's it. Because if you figure out what that something is, and it may be that you got to figure out that I'm already in that something. Yeah, because sometimes the thing that we desire is right in front of us and we just don't realize it, because we're steady focusing on what is not rather than focusing on what is. And when you're focusing on something, that's where your attention and your energy goes. Your attention and your energy goes where you put your attention. Yeah, you're wherever you put your attention, that's where your energy is going to flow to. So if you're putting your attention and your focus and your focus on something that is that is missing in your life, that's where your energy is going to go, and you're going to feel something is missing or lacking in my life. Does that make sense? So it could be very simple for you. It could be that, oh, I just need to refocus. I just need to shift my perspective, and this thing is going to be able to manifest for me in a different way than for somebody else who maybe that's not their issue. Maybe it truly is that they got to figure out, what is it that gives me joy? What is it that inspires me? What is it that excites me? Because I have no idea. Then we have to go through some uncovering. We got to figure out all the things that I talked about. What are the blocks? What are the beliefs? What's going on in your head? Where are you putting your attention? All those things. We got to figure that out. Start to dismantle them. Start to empower yourself. I got to start to believe that it's possible for me. I have to start to believe that I'm worthy of that. Yeah. And then slowly, there's going to be space. You know, one of the things that we talked about during the retreat, hi Andrea, is where we are having a lot of energy, and it could be stuff that we've been holding on to. It could be feelings of guilt and shame. It could be resentments that I have towards my partner, my parents, my children, my blah 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 blah. Right? Hey Kay. And we went through some exercises, some really releasing exercises. And one woman shared that she had been having all of this guilt around being a single mom, and she hadn't realized it, and it just clicked. It just clicked for her, and she was able to release and to cry it out and to release it. Now, that gives you room Do you see that? It gives you room because we only got but 100. Let's say you got 100 widgets of energy a day, whatever it is, right? But if your container is half full with guilt, you don't have room to do all this work that we've been talking about that is necessary. You don't have any space for it. You can't even see it because you're steady being weighed down with the guilt. Okay, and so we need to get rid of stuff. We got too much stuff. And let me say, we did the Summer Sisterhood Challenge last year, and I wanted that to represent baggage that we are actually holding in our minds. If you got baggage in your home, if you got clutter in your house, in your bedroom, in your closets, in your drawers, it represents the baggage and the clutter you have in your life, in your mind, your mind, your tool. If you have a whole bunch of clutter, guess what I don't have space for? I don't have space to figure out, what my purpose and passion is. What are the blocks that are getting in my way? Whether it's attainable for me. All of those things that take a lot of energy. And so I want us to go through this process. Every week, I want to talk a little bit about how we can start to remove some stuff, how we can start to make space, how we can start to examine what's really important, how we can start to get in alignment with our joy and our purpose and our passion. And once we are in alignment with it, things will happen. You become attractive. What I was talking to you about in the beginning, right? You become attractive. You don't have to start, you won't have to chase after stuff as much anymore. Things are going to come to you because you are like shining. You're like a star and people love stars. And so that's the journey that I want us to take in the next few weeks. Are you down? Are you ready to take that journey with me? Yes. And I want you to do a couple of things. Number one, take some notes and journal throughout this time about what we shared. And I also want you to share this video with somebody that you think may also be in a position where they're trying to figure some stuff out and they just really haven't been able to, and you think it would be helpful for them. And, we share because we care. Tasha says, yes, she needed to hear it. I'm so glad. Merle says, yes. All right. We have work to do, ladies. So here's the other thing, and I'm closing and I'm done because y'all have me talking all day long. Here's the other thing that's very important, and I'm going to talk to you very seriously. If you are listening to me, and if you have had these inspirations in your life, it's because you have a calling that is bigger than what you are currently producing in your life. Let me say that again. Rewind. If you are listening to me, if you are resonating with what I'm saying, if you kind of have felt, it's just a feeling, if you've kind of have felt in the past that there's just more to life than what this is going on right now. There's just more to life than going to work and paying bills, and there's just more. That means that you have a calling that is bigger than what you are producing currently. You will always, hear me, you will always feel dissatisfied. You're always going to feel unfulfilled. You're always going to feel just off. You're going to feel off because you have a calling that is bigger than what you are producing. Okay? So it's not everybody that feels that way. Some people are perfectly happy being I joke every time I go to Walmart with the person that the person checker, and I'm like, what a great job, right? Because I don't have to think. I just count the people and make sure that you have a receipt. I mean, it just doesn't get better than that. But I'm joking. Some people are perfectly happy with that. Some people are, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it, by the way. I'm playing around, but there is nothing. We do not judge, because judging takes space, and we don't have time to be taking no space. So I can't judge nobody for nothing, because it's taking space for me to do what I got to do, because I have a big calling. So I need a lot of room, and I need a lot of energy. I don't have time to judge, to be resentful, to be angry, to be critical. I don't have time for that. It's taking up too much space. But okay, I digress. Some people are perfectly happy being right where they are. You're going to find people in your life, and this is another thing to look out for. This is how you also know that you have a bigger calling than what you're producing. You're going to know that you have a bigger calling than what you're producing when people who are average frustrate you. I can't hear y'all. I wish y'all could talk back to me. When people who are average frustrate you and annoy you and make you roll your eyes secretly, it's only because it ain't got nothing to do with them. It ain't got nothing to do with them. Y'all leave those people alone. It's because you are not producing up to your calling. And so your insides are like, I can't take it. And that's it's reflecting back to you what you feel, and you think it's about the other person. It has nothing to do with the other person. It is never about anybody else. It is never about anybody else. It is never, never, never about anyone else. It is always about you. It is always about me. It's always about me. It's always about me. And so when you're getting frustrated about people who are not doing what they need to do, who are not living up to their stuff, who are not keeping their word, who are not living in integrity, who are not, it's because you are not living up to your big calling for yourself, and you will always be frustrated by that. So what you have to do is just accept it. Stop fighting it. Accept it. That's just who you are. There are some people, everybody's here for a different reason. You don't know why that soul came here. You have no idea what work they have to do. Maybe that's it. That's okay. But you got work to do. And so your work is going to require you, because it's a big job. If it wasn't, you wouldn't have this internal gnawing at you to do more. Your work is to get rid of all the junk, the gunk, the guilt, the shame, the blame, the blah, 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 blah. Your work is to get in alignment with your passion and your purpose. Your work is to get your energy back so that you can have the space and the energy to do big work, because you have a big job to do on this planet. You are probably a healer, you're a teacher, a way shower. You got stuff to do. And so we gotta get it. And when you do that, it's gonna make your life easier. You're gonna be happier. You're gonna be more fulfilled. You're gonna be more in joy. Things, you're gonna have to let go of old stuff, old patterns, old angers, old people. You're not gonna have the friends that you used to have, because that's just the nature of growth and change. It's okay. You're gonna start attracting more people who are in alignment with who you need to be in order for you to achieve what you need to achieve. It's all good. But we gotta get ourselves strong, and healthy food is a part of it, right? Exercise is a part of it. Getting enough sleep at night is a part of it. Having spiritual and emotional and positive connections with people is a part of it. Getting a great mentor and a coach is a big part of it. When you are moving to a new level, you need help to get you there. And so we're going to start thinking about and talking about and figuring out how we can live up to this bigger dream that we have for ourselves over these next few weeks. I want you to take this journey with me. I know that it's going to be a fun, exciting ride. And if you take it seriously, you're going to make some shifts. You really, 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 really will. All right, guys, that's it for me. I spoke way longer than I anticipated. It's 4:44. It's just way too long to be talking to y'all on a Thursday because you guys have stuff to do. And but I had so much in my heart to say. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. Share it with your people. Inbox me if you want to join me in a retreat, or, if you want to talk to me about coaching, whatever it is that you want. I'm here. I'm available. I can't wait to talk to you tomorrow, next Thursday. Peace.